So breathing nice and easy throughout. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. We can go back over it again, or I can try a different way. We've got the stretchy bands. We've got our footwork again with the stretchy bands, as well as using it for our breath work. During the breath work, with the band and with all the hypopressive breath work, really focusing on getting that rib cage expansion. So if you can see a reflection of yourself anywhere in your room, a window or a mirror, just have a little check that you can see that it's your rib cage that's moving, not your shoulders. So we're not lifting up and down, we're going for that lateral expansion. Just to kind of keep an eye, make sure we've got it all moving the right way. So we'll stand up. We're standing up, sorry. We'll start off with our standing mobilisation. Shoulders moving, working down and around. So you circle the shoulders around, feel that squeeze between your shoulder blades. So when we're round, I'm just going to tilt my fan up a tiny bit. So, and then we can circle forwards. And this time try and feel a little bit of stretch between your shoulder blades. So the last one round. Shoulders just rolling back and down. Very nice and tall. So starting to come into a neutral spine. So feet are right hip width, toes are stretching out. And heels, hip, shoulders, earlobes stacking. Front and back lifting up. So literally feel like you're going taller and taller by inches. And taking the right arm all the way up and over. Circle your wrist. And the other way. So we switch sides. Circle the other way again. Come back to centre, and just a couple more side bends either side, reaching all the way up through your fingertips. So you're taking that breath into the side, so using your breath to stretch, to mobilise, and then swap, I can't say it, switch sides, swap sides. So, and then from here we're going to take it into our upper body twist. So belly button downwards, doesn't move. Belly button upwards is the bit we're trying to rotate the twist. So we're twisting our thoracic, our rib cage, rather than twisting from our hips. Can you see the difference? So my legs, my hips are kind of joining in. That's the bit we want to not do. We want to twist from the rib cage. So arms come up in front. Then you've got your sandwich hands. You're going to slide your right elbow all the way back. Straighten your arm back. Stretch your fingers out. And fold back at your wrist if you can. So look in the back at your hand. Bring your hand forward. That's it. We'll just switch sides. So breath in, slide the left arm back. Stretch your hand out, fold back. Look back if you can. Bring your hand forwards. Just working with your breath. Oh, since it's 30 in here already. I'm going to go for one more inside. I shouldn't have looked at that, should I? And then left arm to finish it. And come back to centre, arms come down, and shoulders roll. We're going to come into our roll down. So we're going to pause with our breath in. We're going to roll up, lift up to our toes with our arm circles. And then as we come down, we're going to add in a little bit of standing back bend. So we're kind of working like standing cats and cows. So hands on your legs if you like. So as we roll down, trying to roll down through each vertebrae. Till your hands get to about halfway. So pausing, breathing in. Breathing out and roll all the way back up. So restack back to your neutral. Lift up to your tiptoes, pressing into your big toes. And circle your arms one way. And the other way. That's it. Lower your heels down. And sweep your arms back up. And feel like you're lifting your chin in your chest. Hips press forward, glutes squeeze. Keep lifting your chin in your chest so you're not squishing in the lower back. And just going to cactus your arms, bend your elbows. Bring your elbows all the way in and down as if you're trying to squeeze them together behind you. And bring your arms down. So you look like little stumpy T-Rex arms. That's it. And then keep bringing your arms all the way down. And then we roll back down. So stop at halfway, pause, breathing into your back. Breathing out, we roll all the way back up. So restack that nice long tall neutral spine. Lift up to your tiptoes, pressing into the big toes. Palm circles, one way, and sit. And the other way. So lower your heels, reach your arms all the way back up again. Lift through your chin and your chest, feel that tiny standing back bend, push your hips forward, squeeze your bum. And then cactus your arms, keep lifting your chest. So bringing your arms, elbows all the way in, and then down. And then we roll over and down again. So last one. And pause as you breathe into your back. Hopefully now feels a bit more movement, a bit easier. And roll back up. Then we stack, go nice and tall. Lift up to your tiptoes. So got wobbly arm circles, one way. And set. And the other way. Lower your heels and then our standing back bend. So arms sweep up, chin and chest lift towards your ceiling. So then cactus your arms. If you're squeezing your elbows all the way together behind you. Arms come down, come back to centre. So that's that nice long to a neutral spine. Your leg circles. Maybe hands on your hips. Then circle your right foot round. So you stretch your left toes out. So make your left footprint as big as you can. Circle the right leg. So and you're trying to get your leg to go back behind you in this circle. So you can keep your toes down. So you're stretching the front of the hip maybe, but you should feel that glute, that bum cheek squeezing. Come into your hip extension. So. And then circle the other way, so just in forward each way. And send the leg back behind you. That's it. The last one. And then you stretch through your feet, pedal your feet. So you lift your toes, lift your heel, press into your toes, and switch. So. And then we switch legs. So grow tall, right toe stretching out. And the left leg circles round, keeping the leg straight, circling the leg back behind you. So remember, you get that stretch in front of the hip maybe. Feel your glutes squeezing. One more around this way. And then circle the opposite way. So last one round. Centre again, pedal through your feet. So press into your toes, stretch through the toes. The last one. So, and we're just going to do a few side lunges. So you can keep your hands on your hips if you want, or you can stretch your arms out the side. And step the right leg up. So your left leg is straight, left little toe stays down. Hope you can stretch on that left inner thigh. And yeah, hands on your hips or arms come up the sides, up to you. So step up centre. Tap the toe, grow tall. Same leg. So we're going to do another 3 with the right leg stepping out. And then tap up. That's it. 2. And then one more on the side. That's it. And then switching legs. I'm just going to shuffle sideways a bit. So left leg this time steps out. Right leg is straight, right little toes on the floor, so you get a stretch on the inner thigh. And we tap up. So arms if you want. And wow. Oops. So go for 2. And then last one. Come back to centre. And we're going to come into our standing breath work. So if you grab your stretchy band, wrapping it round your lower ribs. So you can feel the resistance of the band. That's it. Bring it around once or twice so that you can feel the resistance of the band to start with. And as you're breathing, you have to work just that bit more to stretch into the band. So remember, we're working our diaphragm, we're working the intercostals, the muscles between your ribs. Like you to use weights to strengthen your arms. Just holding up the shoulders, your back and down. Growing tall, so again, everything's stacking. And then just that nice slow breath in for 5 seconds and out for 5 seconds if you can. 4, maybe if 5 is too slow today. You feel the ribcage expanding into the band. You should feel it tighten as you breathe in, and just ease off a little bit as you exhale. Breathing through your nose. So your lips together, teeth are apart, tongue rests the roof of your mouth. A couple more breaths. This one. Take the band away. And do a couple of breaths without the band. Hopefully you should feel really smooth and easy. Grow tall again. Find your neutral. And then the breath. Shoulders roll. We're going to come into our standing breath work. Feet are hip width apart. Toes stretching out. So we'll do it the wrong way, don't I? So bring your feet together. Turn your toes out. Turn your heels out. Stretch your toes out. Get you a good hip width set up, basically. And grow tall. So heels, hip, shoulders in. Stacking, head pulling back. Got our first one with our long arms, our rocket ship arms. Reach out through your fingers. We're trying to feel these muscles here and the side of the ribs relax. Those ones kind of come down in that wedge, that triangle shape. Not the 110 of our shoulders. Slightly lean forward from your ankles if you can. Knees a little bit soft so your knees aren't locked out. So we shouldn't feel a lot of tension in the front or the back of our knees. And then chin tuck chin. And then get ready to breathe. So next breath in, 2 seconds in. And then 4 seconds out. And so 2 in. And 4 out. 1 more in and out. Empty your breath. Relax your face, your jaw, your tummy, and then back to your breath hold. Keep going tall. As you breathe in, you're going to rotate your forearms in. And pressing down with your palms, reaching up your elbows, so you've got tension through your arms, but not in the tops of the shoulders. It's good. So your arms stay nice and still with your breath. If you're breathing into your shoulders, your arms are going to lift up and down. And I can see that your arms aren't lifting, which is really good. And again, empty your breath out, relaxing everything. Find your vacuum or your breath hold. Breathe in, slide your hands up to shoulder height. Get a nice strong ribcage breath in. More gentle exhale. Just sit one more in and out. You're going to relax. Keep going tall, back to your breath hold. So as you breathe in, raise your hands towards your ceiling, wherever you get to that's good, that doesn't take you into a back bend. Again, back to your breath hold. As you breathe in, half bent over. So a little bit of a bend for the knees, but all the bend, most of the bend through your hips. So you've got that hip hinge. Lengthen from tailbone to head, chin is tucked in. Reach out with your elbows. Insert. One more breath in and out. And then back to your breath hold. Keep going long from head to tailbone. And lift up. Spin down onto one knee, the other knee, tucking your toes under. Heels pointing up to the ceiling. So if you point your heels up, you should feel a little bit tightening around the outside and the inside of your thighs. If your heels just roll out, you're going to have quite that same feeling in your hips. So hands point back in again, grow tall, chin tucked. So a nice strong breath in for 2. Out for 4. In and out. Relax, find your vacuum on your breath hold. So bring your hands up to shoulder height. Keeping your gaze at your horizon, so your eye level. And there's the hip width. Very good. One more breath. And then back to your breath hold. Breath in, slide your hands towards your ceiling. Keep going tall. Like you're trying to push the ceiling and the walls away. One more breath in now. Empty, relax. Back in your breath hold. As you breathe in, coming onto your hands and knees. So remember, hands are under your shoulders, fingers pointing in. Elbows aren't locked out, so you've got a small bend in your elbows. Again, toes touch, toes pointing out. Empty your breath out, relaxing everything, including your jaw. Back to your breath hold. And then rotate your hands forward, so come down onto our forearms and our forehead. So you're probably on your hairline, fingertips and hairline roughly in line, hips on top of your knees. Gentle pull back with your arms. And then one strong breath in. Toes still tucked. And then empty your breath out right to the end. Vacuum your breath hold. And then as you breathe in, swing your legs around to the side. You're going to work your way back into sitting into cross legs. And if your knees are quite high when you're crossing your legs, pop yourself up on a cushion or a block or something. So then get a little bit more space in the front of your hips and your knees, like lower a bit more. And then hands back to this one, so grow tall. Pressing out with your elbows, your palms, tension through the arms. That's it. Strong breath in, more of a relaxed exhale. And relax everything off, back to your breath hold. As you breathe in, slide your hands up to shoulder height. That's it, so pushing out with your hands, reaching out your elbows, keep going tall. Chin is tucked. Very good. Fingers are hip width, so you still have that wide spacing through the hands, is it? Slide your hands up. Again, neutral spine so you haven't come into a back bend. Good work. Relax off, vacuum the breath hold. As you breathe in, lengthen your legs. So you've got legs extended, knees are still bent, and pull back on your feet. So when you're trying to see, unless you've got socks on, which you can't, but you're trying to see those creases in the front of your ankles. So you work through your ankles a bit, and again, ribs, hips, head stacking, arms back to here. Or at all, nice work. So, gaze still at your horizon, your eye level. And empty, relax, vacuum or breath hold. Then slide your hands up to shoulder height. That's it. Checking and feeling for the tension here in the side of the ribs, nothing in the tops of the shoulders. Again, back to your breath hold. Last one here, sitting, reaching your arms up, pushing away your ceiling into your walls. Good work. That's it. Pull your breath in and out. Then empty all of the breath out to the end, relaxing your jaw, your face, your tummy, vacuum your breath hold. And then rolling down onto your back. So if your back's feeling extra tight, you can keep your feet on the floor, otherwise legs lengthen all the way out. You're going to cross a right ankle over, a right leg over a left leg. Again, pull back on your feet like we were just now. As you put it in the thighs, tense up a bit. And your hands are stacked, pressing away above, slightly above, slightly behind you, so that you haven't got really big arch through your lower back. And then a strong breath in. Send it out. One more. Again, back to your breath hold. Recrossing your legs, recrossing your arms. Again, pull back on your feet so in the thighs are working. Left hand pressing into the back of your right hand. Pressing away with your palms. Do you feel how that tension through your arms? Your arms are hovering off the floor. Neck is lengthened. One more breath in and out. Back to your breath hold. And then breathe in, stretch your arms out, stretch your legs out. Maybe wind or shake your wrists off from your ankles. And then rolling to your side. So coming up to sitting. We're going to go through the footwork we've been working on the last few weeks. So working through your feet, your ankles helps improve your foot, your ankle strength, but it also makes it builds it up through your hips as well. It all helps with that neutral spine. So if you can do your doubling your band up, so folding in half. It's going to get caught on my fan. That's it. So we're going to start with our feet. So the normal move that we normally do. So you're going to loop the band over the top of your toes. So your toes are in the band. So I'll have my band back on in a minute. So remember, you're pulling your toes back towards you. See, so you're pulling your toes back towards you, keeping them pulling back. You point your foot, point your toes. So this is where you need the band covering your toes, because you're pointing your toes into the band. Pull your toes back, pull your foot back. So we'll do 6, and then we switch legs, do 6 on the other leg. So tension in the band. So you're going to grow nice and tall, and you're holding your band, wherever works, and your arms stay still. So toes pull back, point your foot, and then point your toes. Your toes pull into your band. Then pull your toes back, pull your foot back, and then adjust the tension in the band. So if you need to slacken it off, slacken it off. Keep growing tall. Again, point your foot, point your toes. So make your feet work. Oh, cramp today. Pull your toes back, pull your foot back. So point your foot, point your toes. Work through your foot basically. Pull your toes back, pull your foot back. So go for 3 more. So point your foot, point your toes. Toes come back, foot comes back. Last one. So foot points, toes point, toes pull back, foot pulls back. So then we're going to switch legs. So loop the band over your other foot, covering your toes. Sit tall, tension on the band to start with. Remember, you can always adjust the tension. You can make it stronger, you can slacken off a little bit. So toes pull back, point your foot, point your toes. Toes pull back, and your foot pulls back. So keep going tall, so point your foot, point your toes. So toes pull back, foot pulls back. And foot and toes. Toes and foot, very nice and tall. Last 3, so foot, toes, toes, foot, 2, foot, toes, toes, foot, and then your last one, so foot, toes, toes, and foot. Take the band away. Was one foot different the other foot? So, and we're going to come back to our first foot. Give everyone a chance to rest. We're going to do our sideways pulling. I don't know, can you see my foot? Okay. So you're sickling your foot, you're rounding your foot, so you're stretching into the outside of the ankle. So we'll loop the band round in a minute. So you're going to be pulling the band away from the edge of your foot. And then you're going to turn your foot the other way. So you then, hopefully you can see the outside edge of your foot is working now. So you've got creases in the outside edge of your foot, wrinkles in the outside edge of your foot, sorry. And then you smooth out the outside edge of your foot. So your foot is just turning side to side. I don't know if that shows up very clearly. And then we'll loop the band around the outside edge, that knife edge, sword edge, outside edge of your foot. Again, have a little bit of tension. Pull your band back, grow tall. And allow the band to round the outside edge of your foot. So you sickled your foot. So it's rounded, it's stretched, no wrinkles. And then pull your foot, the outside edge, into the band. So you've got the outside edge working, got your wrinkles, your creases. Allow your foot to almost relax, to stretch. And then turn it. So you're turning it in, you're turning it out. Easy to turn your hand there. So you should be getting that work into the outside edge of your ankle, of your foot. Making sure you're not moving the hand that's holding the band. Go for 2. And the last one. Take the band away. Wiggle your foot if you want to. Just going to switch legs. The last one. So you're going to turn your foot in. So remember, no creases. Stretching into the outside edge of the ankle. And then turn your foot out. So you get all the creases, muscles working in the outside edge. So loop your band around the outside edge, that knife edge, that sword edge of your foot. Little toe side. Hold both ends. I kind of pull back to my opposite knee, kind of anchor my hand on my knee. So allow your foot to almost kind of relax, so you're stretching into the outside edge. And then turn your foot. So you're working the outside edge, growing tall. Relax, stiffen your foot. Flatten your foot, as if you're trying to pull your little toe up to the side of your knee. 3 up. 2. And the last one. You're much for a really different foot to foot, side to side. Take the band away. Wiggle your foot out if you want to. And roll your mat. Excuse me, we're going to come to hands and knees. We're going to go for hands and knees. We're going to go for box press-ups, box push-ups. You're going to have your hands wide. So you're going to have your hands wider than your mat. So as we come into our push-up, our elbows are roughly on top of our wrists. So your hands are wider than your shoulders. Fingers are spread out. Hands are pretty much in line with your shoulders. So make sure your hands don't go too far back, but they're wide. We're going to hinge up and down from your hips. So lengthen from your tailbone to your head, ribs sit in. Lower your nose, allow your elbows to go out. No, lower your body, not your nose. Allow your elbows to go out. But thinking about bringing your nose or keeping your nose in line with your index fingers. And then press back up. So your back's not bending or arching. So lower. And push back up. All of the fingers stay down. One more. So from there, pull back to a quick child's pose. Take a breath into your back. We'll do another set of 4. Come back up, 2 hands and knees. Set yourself up. So still that wide spacing. Go long from tailbone to head. And you're going to hinge down from your hips. So remember your nose pretty much comes in line with your index fingers. Press back up. Allow your elbows to go wide. And the last one. Then quick pull back to child's pose. Breath. We'll breathe. And we're going to change it slightly. So this time your hands come back underneath your shoulders. Fingers point forward and allow your elbows to rotate. So the inner eye of your elbow, so the inner part of your elbow, starts to rotate, starts to twist forward without your fingers twisting. So you're spinning your elbow forwards as much as your elbows allow you to do that. So this time, be aware you're not shifting your weight back. You're still trying to keep your hips on top of your knees. The elbows rotate forwards. Your elbows are going to want to go out on these ones to make it easier. You try to keep your elbows tucked in. So you're going to lower the forearms down, elbows tucking in, and then we're going to lift back up. Still got that long line through your back. So lower your elbows, your forearms down, lift back up. Try to be aware that you're not shifting your weight backwards. Keep your hips on top of your knees. Good work. One more. quick stretch back to child's pose and do our last step. We're going to come back up, hands and knees, hands on the shoulders. Fingers are flat down, fingers can be spread. Rotate your elbows so your inner eye starts to point more forwards, so your elbows then stay tapped in. Lower to your forearms. Lift back up. Be aware your fingers aren't lifting as you're lowering and lifting. So press your fingertips down. We go for 2. That's it, the last one. Lots of triceps back of your arms. And pull back to your child's pose. Working your way over onto your back. So you find your neutral spine, you've got a small gap underneath your lower back. Cushion or pillow under your head if that makes you more comfortable, if it allows you to tuck your chin in, it allows you to lengthen your neck. Arms down to your side. So whilst your head's on the floor, we're working in our neutral spine. So as we're moving our legs around, we're not losing that small arch underneath your lower back. We're going to start with our right leg. So you're going to float your right knee up to your tabletop. Tap your foot down. And then lift the right knee back up. So just working, hinging up and down from your hips. So tap the foot down. It's really gentle landing. Lift the leg back up. And tap back down. As you're lifting your knee, you're not pushing out into your tummy. Go for 3. That's it for 2. One more. Place that foot down, always switch legs. So get a nice long line through the back, neutral spine, tummy goes up, it's drawing, we're scooping in and up. Left leg floats up to your tabletop. So knee on top of the hip, shin parallel to floor. Tap your foot down and lift. 3. So 2. So as your foot lands, it doesn't make any sound. Last one. Place the foot down. Right leg lifts again. Keeping your knee bent, still working from the hip. You're going to imagine you've got a really hot cup of tea balanced on your left knee. So your left knee's not going to move. Right knee opens out to the side, as if you're opening up a book maybe. And then close your right knee back up to centre. So right knee opens out the side. That left leg is really still. So not forgetting about our left leg. And again, not pushing out into your tummy, but you're scooping in and up, and you're still breathing. You're not holding your breath at any point. Last one out and up. Place your right foot down and switch legs. The left leg floats to your tabletop, keeping that 90-degree bend in your knee. You've got a really hot cup of tea on your right knee, or maybe it's an ice cold glass of water. So right knee stays still, left knee opens out to the side. Nice and smooth, back up to centre. That's it. Shoulders are relaxed. Two. And last one. Bring your foot down. We're going to come to our, we're going to switch to our upper body. So right hand comes to the side of your head. Shuffle over a little bit. Left arm comes out the side, shoulder height, palm on the floor. Your hips are glued down. So we're going to twist through the upper body, being aware that you're not lifting your right hip up off the floor. So glue your hips down. Breath in. So again, scoop, draw it in and up. As you breathe out, you'll peel your right shoulder up. We're going to twist. We're going to look over to our left hand. Keep that right elbow nice and wide. Inhale, roll back down. And keep going on the same side. So breath in, breath out. Without pushing out into your tummy, peel the right shoulder up. Look over to your left hand. Inhale, roll back down. Making sure you're not pulling your head. Keeping that right hip glued down to the floor. So our twist is in our rib cage. Go for 2. Last one. That's it. And then we switch sides, shuffle back over. So right arm comes out the side, about shoulder height. Palm is on the floor. Left hand to the side of your head. Glue your hips to that left side down. So again, lengthen your neck, chin is tucked, breath in. As you breathe out, peel your left shoulder up. We're going to twist it over to our right hand. Inhale, roll back down. Make sure you're not pulling your head. Keep the left elbow wide. Go for 2. And the last one. Back to center. Stretch all the way out. So I'm going to come over onto our side. If you're good on resting on your forearm, resting on your forearm. Be aware you're not sinking down though. So lift this side up. So you're working your waist to your obliques. Lift out your shoulder. Top leg goes backwards, bottom leg goes forward. So you've got V legs. We're going to work our lower leg. So your top leg needs to be out of the way so we can move our lower leg. Top hand on your hip if you want. Straighten out through your lower leg. Your foot's kind of pointing towards the end of your mat, the corner of your mat. Just going to lift and lower our leg. So nice as that. We go for 2. And 1. Lower your leg down. Top leg's going to sweep backwards and forwards. Lift your leg to your hip height. Keep your leg nice and straight, working from our hips. And sit your leg back till you feel your bum squeeze. And then sweep your leg forwards, wherever you get to, without starting to round through your back and your hips. And sweep your leg back. Sweep your leg forward. So it helps. Imagine you're painting a line on the wall in front of your toes. So 3, 2, last one. So rest that leg down. The back to the bottom leg. So the leg through your leg, you lift your lower 6. And the last one, keep lifting up your waist, lift out your shoulder. Top leg lift, circle on top leg this time. So about dinner plate size circle. The dinner plate's a bit big, you can go for 2. And last one. And then the other way, not even smaller. For 2. And 1. Rest the leg down. So we're going to lift up to sitting, side bend stretch. The arm that was on the floor, stretch that one over your head. Circle the wrist one way and the other way. We're going to switch sides. So same little series on the other side. So on your forearm if it's good, if your shoulder doesn't like it, right all the way down the side. Lift out of your shoulder, lift your side up. Both legs lengthen out. So top leg goes backwards, bottom leg goes forward, hips are stacked. We're going to lift and lower the bottom leg. So your top foot's resting on the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Then we switch to our top leg, so we're going to lift the top leg, so your foot's pretty much level with your hip. Sweep your leg backwards, feel that glute squeeze, and then sweep your leg forwards, keeping your back and your hips still. So you're trying to reduce, minimize all the movement in the body, so you can feel that you're not rolling forwards and backwards on your lower hip. Lifting up the shoulder, put 2, press down into your forearm. Last one. So we're going to rest the leg down, back to our lower leg. So we've got our 6 lift and lowers through the lower leg. 2, and 1. Rest the leg down. Leg circles again on our top legs. Top leg lifts to about hip height. Dinner plate-ish size circles. Lifting out your shoulder, lift the side up. 6, and then 6 the other way. And last one. Rest the leg down. Slowly lift up. And again, side bend stretch. The arm that's on the floor, stretch it all the way over. So, and then we come into, I call them diamond legs. Spin around just a bit. So your legs make a nice big diamond shape. Sit yourself up on a cushion if you want. Hands come to the side of your head. If that's not good for shoulders, you can cross your arms here. Otherwise, hands to the side of the head. Reach out through your elbows. So the tendency for this one is for your shoulders to lift up. We're going to try to keep our shoulders relaxed down. Reach through your elbows for the triceps, the back of your arms, maybe the side, your ribs working. When you've got a brick wall behind you, dip your elbow to one side, lift up to centre, dip your elbow down to the other side. So we're just going side to side. Yes. So nice and tall as you come back to centre each time. Shoulders are relaxed. So come back to centre, bring your arms down. Shoulders roll if you want to. We're going to add onto it. So we're going to add in a bit of a twist. So hands come back to the side of your head, grow nice and tall. Same thing as before, so dip your elbow down, then rotate all the way around. So you're trying to get your face, your chest parallel to the floor next to you. Untwist, lift tall, and the other elbow dips down. And rotate all the way around to the floor on that side. That's it, yeah. Reach out with your elbows, untwist, lift tall, sit down, rotate round. So good. And the last one on each side. Bring your arms down, so maybe give your knees a hug. Come down onto your front. So just going to work from our back extensions. So arms along down to your side. And do our dart. Check. That's it. Perfect. So if you don't like having your arms to your side, it doesn't work for your shoulders or anything, arms underneath your shoulders, kind of like a normal setup. Otherwise, arms along to your side. Palms are facing or on the floor. Shoulders roll back and down. So you've got a tiny bit of a squeeze between your shoulder blades to start with. Breath in. Now as you breathe out, peel your head, your chest back, grow long from head to toes. Imagine you're the dart flying through the air, if that helps. Do that gentle squeeze between shoulder blades, inhale to lower. Go long from head to toes throughout, especially as you lift. Keep your palms facing the floor. Number 2. Keep the neck nice and long. Last one. Bring your arms up in front. Rest down for breath. And then pull back to hands and knees. This direction and lower back again. And we're going to come back to our breath work. 2. So we're going to work on hands and knees. So we're going to do 2 rounds on hands and knees. With our moving head tuck. And then we're going to do 2 rounds keeping our head tucked under. So the same way that we work on our roll downs, breathing into our back at the beginning, we're doing the same sort of thing but on hands and knees. So you might feel like it's too restricted to breathe. And if that's the case, you're just going to untuck your head and you're going to do the moving head tuck at the same, which is what we're going to start with. And then if you've got time, we're going to come into our prayer with our arms extended, hands pulling back. So we look a bit like this, put down in our prayer position. That does put more pressure on your head and your neck. So if you know that doesn't work for your head and your neck, you've got your arms in our normal prayer position here. So come on to hands and knees. Toes tucked, heels pointing up, hands under your shoulders, fingers pointing in, elbows tiny little bend so they're not locked out. Lengthen from your tailbone to your head. So we do our 3 breaths here, and then find your breath hold on your vacuum. We're going to tuck our chin under. So lead with your chin and tuck all the way under. Whilst you're maintaining your vacuum or your breath hold. Now as we breathe in, we untuck. We do that one again. So breath, breath, breath. Hold your breath with your vacuum or your breath hold, and we tuck our chin. And then this time, after the second one, we stay here and do our breaths here. So this is what I mean if you really cannot breathe in this position. Untuck. Come back to our normal hands and knees position. See how you feel. So set yourself up, lengthen tailbone to head. Chin is tucked. So normal breath, 2 seconds in, 4 seconds out. Breath in, and then exhale. So nice strong breath in, and out. One more in and out. Empty your breath out, and again relax, find your vacuum or your breath hold. Lead with your chin into that head tuck. As you breathe in, we untuck. Second round. So nice strong breath in. Can you feel your ribcage moving? Especially on the inhale. One more. So exhale, empty your breath out, find your vacuum or your breath hold into your head tuck, and then keeping your head tucking, maintain that vacuum. Release your vacuum, keep your head tucked if you can, breath in, and out. In for 2, out for 4, one more. Maintain this position, find your vacuum or your breath hold. Release, one last round, so breath in, and out. Last one. Toes are tucked, heels pointing up. Exhale, breath out. Back camel breath hold. And then come down onto your forehead. So either on normal prayer arms, if your wrists have had enough, you need to straighten your wrists out. Otherwise, if you want to, you can extend your arms forward. And then like we do with our feet, pull your hands back towards you. So you're working in the wrists. Lengthen through your back. Adjust your hairline probably on the floor. Again, strong breath in. Arms are in kind of like a V shape. Getting a stretch into the armpits. Last breath in and out. Then find your back heel and breath hold. Last round. Move your arms if you need to. So if you need to bring your arms in, give you more support, go for it. Make sure you haven't dipped down through the lower back. And then last breath in and out. Back heel and breath hold. And then when you're breathing in, bring your arms back in. So you pull back to child's pose. And that's we'll stretch through the front of the hips. So you bring your right foot in front. Find your low lunge. Wiggle your feet around, front knee on top of your ankle. So we're going to lift all the way up to our high knees. Tailbone tucking under, hips pressing forward. So you've got your left knee, hip, shoulder in line. Squeeze your elbows back behind you maybe. So, and then sink the hips back down. So you can bring your hands down. And then switch legs. So again, find your low lunge. Allow your hips to sink forwards and down. Front knee on top of the ankle. Back toes tucking under. Draw your foot and your knee towards each other so as you lift up, hips are nice and strong. Tailbone tucking under, hips pressing forward. And maybe squeeze your elbows back. Lowering back down. Hands coming down. We're going to step our back foot forwards. So our feet come together, or hip width apart. Come into a forward bend. So maybe get a stretch into the back of your legs, knees are soft. And then slowly roll all the way back up to standing. And at last. And that's it. We're done for Tuesday morning. So good work.